what do you think about Elon buying Twitter? So in this perfect balance, optimized reallocation of tornadoes throughout the various efforts in human civilization, do you worry about his involvement with Twitter?
I mean, personally, I see that as a lot less important than, and personally for me, inspirational than Starship and, the work done at SpaceX and Tesla. To me, those were two very impactful and really, really just generally they uniting, something to rally around, get excited about, rally, and just like a future to look forward to.
Yep.
The idea of we're going to be building the world's most powerful, biggest rocket ever, and it's eventually going to be able to get humans on Mars for the first time. And we're going to transition the world into fully sustainable, awesome, just totally badass cars that do all these cool things. To me, those were that brought a sense of unity and a sense of we can do this. Personally, I just don't think that a social media, no matter what it is, I don't see that in a social media. And I don't see any sort of politicking is ever anything that's really ever a uniting thing.
I understand that. I totally agree with you, especially with space, how inspiring it is. I have to push back. I do think the impact of social media, the basic level of meaningful connections of this collective intelligence that we call human civilization through the medium of digital communication, which is social media, I think that can have a huge impact. It could be the very vehicle that increases the inspiration that SpaceX does, and all different. The thing I've criticized them a bunch for is why bring politics into this? So the political divisions that we see on Twitter, feeding them is tricky. It's tricky to sort of understand what is the value of that, what is the contribution of that to this whole effort we got going on. So that's been a big challenge. But that said, again, this tornado, the number of tornadoes on social media, I think is really important because social media has such a huge impact on us as a society, and to have a transparent, have a bit of turmoil. It's like Tom Waits says, I like my town with a little drop of poison. So a little bit of that, shake things up, I think might be really healthy. I just worry about the long-term impact on the whole Mars project through that. And so, but you know what? This life, one of the reasons it's fun is through the chaos, none of us know how it's going to turn out, and hopefully we try to help each other to make sure it turns out well.
And this really isn't anything about my personal politics or anything like that, but really just generally, any of my friends that are the first thing you hear about them in their day is something that happened in politics or something that some world leader is doing or not doing or saying and not saying. I just don't find that to be the most important thing, really. I know that obviously that can affect a lot of people. That has big real world consequences. Politics do. But I just, and this is just me. I'm such a he'll come together, cheerio kind of guy, that I just really think you need something bigger than bickering about what people said and did and what they voted on and all this stuff to really push humanity forward. I know that politics and by extracting that, social media can affect things like space flight and even our planetary defense, being able to defend ourselves against asteroids. If politics has their way and everything goes to crap and we don't even get to, we're not going to be able to, continue space flight and things like that. But I don't know. I just think there's better ways to do it and more uniting ways to do it than what feels like immature name calling sometimes,
Yeah, I think the political bickering that most people talk about, that's on top of most people's minds, is the thing that'll be completely forgotten by history. It has actually very little impact. Yes, politics matters, but 1% of it. I think most of it is just political bickering, the push and pull of the red team and the blue team, and the news media that feeds off the division for the attention, and it's just a fun athletic event almost with the blue team and the red team. So 100%. That you kind of have to have a historical perspective on it. Most things will not really have a significant impact, and we should focus on development of science, technology, engineering, which is the thing that grows the pie.
100%.
This is what the economists know well.
Yeah.
Just the innovation, the engineering. That's what actually makes everybody richer.
Yeah.
This kind of political bickering is just eating the pie.
And not just richer, but it improves their lives. We can look at every modern technology that is bestowed upon us today: air conditioning, electricity, internet access, fresh, clean water, running water, blah, blah, blah. 100 years ago, so many of the things that I listed either didn't exist or were only accessible by the ultra wealthy. And it's through the innovation of technology and engineering and education that we're able to have it be that even someone below the poverty line in most of the developed world will have a good number of those things in their life. And that's just continuing to increase and continue to get better. So I think, that's, to me, that's in the grand scheme more important, but to each their own.